Should we look at some transfers that Chelsea look back on with disdain? The Todd Boehly era.
All of them.
Ranking all of them,
bar Cole
transfers. Palmer. Okay, we're going to rank them in perfect signing. Did the job. Jury's out. And why did they even sign him?
Okay, this is a great game.
First one, Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling's been one of our best players.
Said it, yeah.
So is it perfect? I think he did the job.
I wouldn't say he's the perfect signing. I say he did the job.
The problem is at Chelsea, the level that he's got to at Chelsea is about as successful as you can be. At Chelsea, you're set up to fail. You know, Raheem Sterling coming into Chelsea, you've got to think he's used to working with Pep Guardiola and the meticulous nature of Manchester City and the perfect nature of Manchester City. He's coming to a Chelsea team that's basically in disarray, and he's done. If I'm thinking of all of the players that Chelsea have signed in this era, Raheem Sterling is probably in the top 3. And therefore, if he isn't perfect, I don't know. I'm going to have to put in perfect because otherwise it's not going to leave me anywhere to go with some of the
We all agree the bar is low then with that.
The bar is
category.
low.
Maybe you don't have any perfect signings then.
I think if you take away the bias of how bad you've been, as a Chelsea fan, take away the rubbish owners. I think there's no way in a million years, 5 years ago, based on what he's done, regardless of Todd Boehly, he's not a perfect sign.
All right, let's go. Did the job for Raheem?
Yeah, I think it'd be fair.
He's doing a job.
Did the job for Raheem.
What about Koulibaly?
One of the worst signings we've ever had.
Why did you sign him?
One of the worst signings we've ever had.
Why?
Do you know my overriding memory of Koulibaly? Before we signed him, do you know the day when I spoke about Haaland on Saturday?
How can we forget?
You know that day. But do you know what? Do you know where I'm really unlucky here? Do you know who got away with murder that day? That exact day, that exact moment? Thogden.
Oh,
so I was on that show with Thogden and we were talking about our predictions for the season.
Yeah.
My prediction was Haaland would fail. Do you know what Thogden's prediction was? But everybody forgot it because mine was so much worse.
Yeah.
Thogden's prediction was, do you know who player of the season was going to be?
Koulibaly.
Signing of the summer. Yeah.
Koulibaly.
He was like, I was in Naples last year and I saw him. He was the best player.
He probably was.
And no, I'm sure Thogden was probably correct. I just mean...
This clip is brought to you by Super 6. Do you want the chance to win £250,000? All you have to do is download Super 6 and type in some football predictions. It's as easy as that. And obviously, if you join the club mini league, you can win £100 at classicfootballshirts.co.uk. That is a fantastic deal. Make sure you click the link down below and check it out.
He was proved so incorrect, but because I was proved even more incorrect, Thogden got away with it.
Yeah. That's the Italian league for me. If you get that wrong, there's not many players that come from Italy that have done well in the Premier League for me.
Especially as defenders, because the league's so... right.
Sorry, just a little striptease.
No,
the ladies watching. Oh, the hair's gone mad. Sorry, it's all gone mad. I just realised I'm boiling, and I thought, why don't I just do something about it rather than just sitting here boiling?
Yeah, Buvey, you're right. It's the league, especially with defenders, because the league's so slow, the Premier League's so fast.
31 years old as well.
For me,
weird age category.
I mean, he's honestly, I'm not even joking. Koulibaly is in our worst ever 11.
So, actually, you know what? He could be there.
Mate,
if anything, he's on the bench. He's at least on the bench.
No, he starts for me. He's the club captain.
He was dreadful. So Koulibaly is undoubtedly, and why did we even sign him?
Slanina.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult with a keeper. We haven't seen enough of him.
Yeah.
Jury's out.
He's
perfect. Jury's out. Chukwuemeka, jury's out. Cucurella.
Oof.
Why did we even sign him? I don't like him.
But there's times where he has good games for you.
He's had way worse games. He's had way worse. He's been in terms of the amount of times Havertz is in here, by the way, and he's
rubbish, man.
He's rubbish.
He's so slow to everything. He had the ball in the box and he lets it run across his body.
They don't let you say it, Arsenal fans, either. They challenge you. You know when you go, he's a terrible footballer and he flukes his way into a Champions League situation. We didn't like him when he was a Chelsea player, and Arsenal fans just won't have it. And then you see him do that, and you're like, "Are you sure?"
God, yeah.
But no. So Chukwuemeka, the jury's definitely out. Mark Cucurella, I think, why did we even sign him? I think he's been atrocious.
I wouldn't say that because at the time he was coming off the back of a good Brighton team. Pep Guardiola.
He's their player of the year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a good player. So I wouldn't say why did you sign him because when you signed him, he was a good player.
But we didn't. We've got us. In terms of asking why we signed him, it was still a legitimate question because we have Ben Chilwell. We also at the time had Lewis Hall.
Yeah, but Lewis Hall wasn't...
I don't think it's the worst idea. Sometimes you want... I mean, Chilwell's injured all the time. Yeah. You want two good left-backs.
And he was getting one of the best in the league at the time. Not the best, but one of the most promising, I should say.
Liverpool hit the bar.
One of the most promising, so...
No, I mean, he's been terrible for us, though.
60 mil has to work 8% of the time. He's not come from Spain. He came from Brighton. He knows the league inside out.
And it works the opposite. It works 20% of the time.
I don't know.
It doesn't work 80% of the time he plays. It's disaster.
Yeah.
What would it be? I don't know. Jury's
Absolutely
out.
shocking.
Fofana, I think the jury is out. Aubameyang is an amazing tale.
Oh
the
my
signing
God.
of Aubameyang
What
is
happened
actually
there?
it's actually brilliant, isn't it? Because it demonstrates so perfectly the inadequacy of the Chelsea board. Like, no signing represents more the lunacy of what's gone on at Chelsea over the past. Like, you think we signed him because of his pre-existing relationship with Thomas Tuchel. The only reason to get Aubameyang in at the time was because Thomas Tuchel was the manager. Thomas Tuchel would know how to get the performances out of him. We knew that Aubameyang, there were some conversations to be had around his commitment and around what he does for a dressing room, but we had the right man for that situation. Tuchel was going to sort it out. Do you know how long they were at the club together? Do you know how many?
7 days.
45 minutes worth of football. I swear to you. We played a game. We played away from home in Croatia in the Champions League. Aubameyang played 45 minutes.
And that was it. Under crucial.
Tuchel was sacked. Tuchel was sacked about 4 days later, and that was the only time they linked up.
God.
And then it was just a disaster.
So do you think if he didn't get sacked, he would have got the best out of Aubameyang?
He's doing well
he
in
would
France
have
now.
more of a chance?
He's still playing
He did well at Barcelona after he left us on loan.
He did.
He got
He
like
did, actually.
14 goal
Yeah, he did.
involvement.
I don't necessarily think Aubameyang was the right player for Chelsea to sign.
No,
but
wait.
to have half a chance of getting a performance out of him, Thomas Tuchel needs to be in and around that situation.
Yeah, but even then, why would he even buy Aubameyang who was aging? He's come to an end of his career. You saw what happened at Arsenal. Okay, bearing him.
I think the only logic, the only rationale for bringing him in is Tuchel, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
How much
only
did he spend on
rationale.
him? Like, was it
I can't remember.
was it under 10 mil?
It was quite cheap. It wasn't a big financial
It was
burden
proportionally cheap,
based on some of the
but
other ones.
it wasn't a huge financial commitment, but it would have been a huge financial commitment to his wages.
Oh, 100.
yeah,
At least
yeah.
300 grand.
Yeah.
Or
And
250.
the energy in the changing room when he wasn't playing and he was bringing the
And
vibe down.
Didn't we end up having to pay him, if I remember rightly? Weren't we
terminated
paying
the
him when he
contract.
went off to Barcelona or something ridiculous like that? I can't even
Nah,
remember.
it was when he was at Barca. He was us. He was with us when he was at
No,
Barcelona.
he went back, didn't
No,
he?
he went back with us.
Oh yeah,
though.
he went back. Yeah, he did go
went back
back.
on
But
loan.
the first time he was with us at Barcelona.
It's shambolic anyway, and it's a really revealing
Yeah,
one.
why did you sign him? Because he was terrible.
Terrible.
The whole league, the whole season, he was bad.
I mean, Badiashile is one of the bright signings. He hasn't had a good.
He made a
few
mistake
ga-
last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't had a good few games.
I like Badiashile.
but Badiashile
It's decent.
is certainly
Decent.
one of the best. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
definitely.
ranking top 5 of the Boehly era,
Yeah, he's-
Badiashile is
Probably the best
undoubtedly.
player last season from all the new transfers.
The question that I would ask is, how much better is he to say Trevor Chalobah, who now doesn't get a look in? Like that, if we're going to explore why
Or Mark
did we sign
Sheahy
him?
that you got rid of.
Or Victor Mori, or you can explore it like that. But in terms of Badiashile's performances, I think he's been very good.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say
He ain't made that much mistakes for you guys. He looks solid at the back.
he does the job.
Yeah, he does the job.
He does the job.
Did the job there.
That Fofana, why did we sign him? I don't understand it.
I ain't seen him.
Madueke,
I like him,
it's an interesting one, Madueke.
I think he's in it. Yeah, I like him a lot.
But I don't know. Like, I actually don't even know how I feel about it, because
Like him.
obviously scored some goals lately.
He's one of your best attacking players. I feel when he gets on the ball,
There's a game he
something's
came
gonna
back
happen.
on. I thought, wow, he's really out of his depth here.
Yeah.
But last season at Arsenal, I think it was against Arsenal at the Emirates, he had a really good game for Chelsea.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
feels
I think
very
he was
one-dimensional, but I also think that there is like a lot of room for improvement.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's
Like
still young.
he could become like a very good player.
Yeah, he's definitely.
So I suppose this is very much kind of the jury being out. Oh dear.
Mudrik's a weird one because he's added goals to his game.
Why did you sign him?
I don't think
Why did you sign him?
as much as I would like to do this, we signed him because you wanted him.
Exactly.
We signed
Why
him.
did you sign him?
Sometimes you have to do that.
sometimes you don't.
Yeah, but you do. But Man United
Just
go out
because
and
you got
sign.
the money, Buvey, don't mean you have to
No, I know,
spend
but
it.
City were going to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. And then Man United has come in and stopped that happening. That was a PR disaster. It's a different situation with a young kid. But if Arsenal were linked, it's a good sign that Chelsea were trying to get him to be competitive on some level.
Yeah.
I could see it from a mile off he was rubbish.
There's no way
Honest
that,
on my life.
there's no way that I can spin this in any other direction aside from what a disastrous signing. Like, if you think about the money, if you think about the fanfare of us signing him, that's the other thing. Like, Chelsea signing Mudryk, it felt like Chelsea had won the cup. You know, in as much as we were laughing at you, we got your
that was
player.
the best part of it.
He was putting up loads of
You
images. He was putting up loads of images about his dream to play with McKola Arteta, wasn't he? He was like really, really playing
Pictures
the game.
of him watching Arsenal videos and all that. And then you lot came in out of nowhere and swooped in. And that's what enlightened it. It was like, okay, cool. Even Chelsea took him off Arsenal.
Yeah.
He must do something good now. And then when you lot got him, he's like, nah.
No, I mean...
He had the good 45 minutes against Liverpool.
Do you know what I do think is interesting?
And that was
Miles? Do you know when you think about the issues for Arsenal this season where it's gone wrong?
Yeah.
I think that you can actually trace it back, arguably at least, to Mykhailo Mudryk signing for Chelsea. Because the form of Martinelli has really struggled, really been patchy this season. He scored 2 goals. When you think of his form last season, he scored 2 goals this year.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why Saka hasn't played so well is because Martinelli hasn't played so well. And basically, you're really young wingers who you haven't got enough cover for. You know, I know you signed Trossard, but he's a different sort of winger. He always cuts in. You've got Reece Nelson, who I just don't think is good enough really to replace Martinelli when you think about how good he is. The lack of signing, maybe a Neto, Mudryk.
Yeah. No, not a Mudryk.
I think so.
No way.
No, but would you not think that Mudryk could be the player? Mudryk could be a better player for you than he is for us.
No,
you know how you're saying Timo Werner can be better for Tottenham than he was?
He ain't got the brain. He ain't got the footballing brain.
He's just not a top level footballer.
He's not at that level.
He'll never be a top level
footballer.
footballer.
But all due respect to you, Mikel Arteta disagrees with you.
Might not be Mikel
that's
Arteta's
fair.
signing though.
Even Guardiola makes flop
Might not have been
signings.
his signing. Could have been Edu. Could have been
Yeah, mixture.
Okay, Edu disagrees with you then.
yeah, of course. They know something. Well,
I just wonder
I don't think they do.
if you think about where Arsenal have so over recent windows, right? Do you remember the boy that Chelsea signed last year? God, he was a disaster and all. Felix, Joao Felix.
Oh, he was class.
But you were chasing him.
Yeah, he was,
and we
he was
got
good.
him. So basically, there have been countless examples. You got the boy at Wolves, Joao Felix, Mykhailo Mudryk, all players who Arsenal didn't sign to help Martinelli out. To help Saka out.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you can trace the stumbling that they've had of late.
Yeah, be
to
more
the
aggressive in the
lack of-
transfer market.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mudryk's not the answer.
Yeah, he's not the answer.
Chelsea could be rock bottom with 0 points, and Mudryk is not playing well enough even at that level. He's just not. He hasn't got it, man. He hasn't got it.
Yeah,
He scored a shank goal against Arsenal.
I don't think I disagree.
1 or 2 goals.
That was a great goal against Arsenal, though, wasn't it?
Enzo Fernandez. I think Enzo Fernandez has been pitiful, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did he sign him?
He's one of at the time I thought it was actually quite a good signing. I mean, it was ridiculous amounts of money, and when you think about the track record that he had, you're signing a player for so much money with no data. You know, he'd had a good World Cup and you know a decent record at Benfica, but in terms of spending that level of money, it's ludicrous. And we've done that loads of times. You know, you've got Moises Caicedo signing. How many games had he played? 90?
40.
Yeah, 90 games though.
Was it?
His whole career.
Like international, everything. 90.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, you got 90 games. You look at Mudryk. Mudryk's played what? 40 games.
Yeah, few in the Champions League.
40.
Couple.
40 games in the Ukrainian league.
Yeah.
It's
Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez is a weird one because he's a very good player. He can play football.
Yeah,
he's talented. He's very good in the midfield. But for the money that you spend, it's the money that's a part. If you got him for 30 million or 40 million,
It's a great deal.
it's a great deal. But the money to
100
attached to him, 100 million.
Well,
why did he sign it?
Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez are worth £250 million. And Conor Gallagher's better than both of them combined.
Oh, God.
I don't think, and I think Enzo Fernandez is like one of the worst players out of the top. I'm not even like out of the top 6, 7 in his position.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
I think he's. I don't.
I think
Would
he's
he
right.
start, would he start for Palace?
He doesn't
It's
get
bad,
him.
man.
Would he start for Palace?
Yes.
He would start
Enzo
what, Eze?
Fernandez starts for
He won't get into
Eze?
Villa.
No, he doesn't play that position.
He's not better than Douglas Luiz.
No, he's not better than Douglas. He's not better than John McGinn. He's not better than John McGinn. He's not. No,
He's not better than Declan Rice.
no I agree.
Who else is there in that 6th position?
If you compare him to Villa, he doesn't get in a Villa team.
Is he better than Tonali
Your
or-
Palace suggestion is Buvey being Buvey, but Villa
No,
is
Palace, no.
Buvey's a legit. Your suggestion about Villa is true. If you were to say Villa,
No, he won't get
I
into
said
Villa.
Palace. My gut was Palace.
but he does get in.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then you compared him to Eze, which is no. You've had a mayor. You've had a-
that's two different
Eze's
No, 2 different
Enzo
positions.
Fernandez is an attacking midfielder.
No, he's not,
He
he's
doesn't
not.
want to be deep.
No,
I don't think he's playing in the right
No,
position.
I
He's a
think we're
6th.
playing him in the wrong position, which is further forward.
Really?
Where he wants to play.
He wants to be an all-action midfielder doing everything, apparently. That's what I'm hearing from everyone.
I think
And
the
he's
player,
just rubbish at doing
the
all
player
that.
that he is, really, if you think about what he did well
He
for
ain't
the
got the legs to
Argentina
do
team,
all that.
No, no, he don't,
it's progressive passes from deep.
Yeah.
Fabregas.
He's a 6.
Yeah, fine.
Fabregas.
Yeah.
But he's not better than John McGinn. He's not better than Dougie Luiz.
No way. He's not better than Declan Rice.
Does he get in the Arsenal team
Is he better than Basuma from Spurs?
Basuma's become a liability, mate. He's been sent off twice.
No.
Basum's had a better season than Enzo.
Yeah,
He had a better 7 games. He had a better start to the season. He's been sent off twice, mate. It's a liability.
Nah.
The sending offs for me, I think you overplay it a little bit. He's had a better... when he's played football, he's definitely had a better season.
Booth. The season is what, 20 games old?
Yeah.
Basuma's been suspended for 7 of them.
Yeah, and he's still better than Enzo
Fernandez.
But surely the two things don't coexist. If you're banned for 7 of 20, you can't be better, can you? Because you're not available to your manager for 50%, basically 50% of the game.
Who's a better player, Rodri or Rice?
Not 50%, is it?
Who's better, Rodri or Rice?
It's different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he plays more games than he does.
Pick me up on the maths or pick me up on the point.
No, but no, the point is that you've just said 50%. He's missed about, a third of the games.
7 out of 20. He's missed 7 out of 20.
7 out of 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
so surely by extension there,
But he's been fantastic for 13 games.
And out of the 20 games, Enzo Fernandez has been missing for at least 15 of them. He's been playing.
Listen, I don't rate.
Basuma's been there for his team.
I don't rate. I think Basuma had a brilliant start to the season. Opening 7 games, I think he was brilliant. I think his performances have dipped massively, and then he's been sent off twice. You cost your team's points when you get sent off.
No,
you then cost your team. You then cost your team points when you're not available.
Yeah, but Basuma's displayed qualities that I think people would have seen thought they would have seen in Enzo Fernandez, and it's just not happening in Enzo Fernandez.
100%.
Basuma's been shown quite even Sarr. They both.
It's not better than
Do you think with after all this debate though, do you think that Enzo Fernandez, the jury is still out because there is a player there?
Can he ever turn into a top? Where did Chelsea want to be? I don't know. Or maybe top 4. He doesn't even know. Top 4 is he a top? No, I don't think he's good enough for top 4. He's not on my life.
I disagree.
I disagree
here.
I think if you get the players around him.
Who's coming? But we've just said who's coming fourth at the moment. We all probably agree Villa going to come fourth.
Yeah,
we agree roughly.
Yeah.
Villa or Spurs?
He doesn't start for Villa. He doesn't start for Spurs.
He does start for Todd. Of course he does. Of course he's better than Højbjerg and Skip. Come on.
Yeah, but that's
okay. Spurs.
Come
maybe.
on.
When everyone's fully fit, he's not starting for Spurs.
I think he might get in a.
No wait.
Yeah, you get.
No, Buvey starts. Hang on a minute, mate.
But
You've gone mad.
Sarr, and Madison is the midfield.
Take Sarr out of
Spurs.
that. Take Sarr out of that.
Do you? I think Sarr's had a better season than Enzo Fernandez. If he's a worse footballer, I'll let you lads say that. I've not seen enough of Sarr. He's had a better season than Enzo.
We do this as a team, us three. One team, one dream, and all that. But for me, we have to say the jury's out because we can't say why did we sign him, and they're the categories that we have in terms of why do you sign one of the stars of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be a Poborski. It could be a Poborski, but I think the jury's out at the moment. In 6 months' time, we will know the answer to this.
Of course, yeah.
So he's got a huge 6 months coming up.
Yes.
Malo Gusto, he's been brilliant.
Did the job, yeah.
He's been very good. He really has been very good. Because as well, he's got to the stage where I'm not pining for Reece James.
Yeah, he does his job.
So worried about Reece.
He's turned it around, Gusto, as well.
Yeah,
you didn't fancy him at the start of the season.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's a tidy player. When he comes in, obviously, like you said, you're not pining for Reece James anymore. He's not a liability. He knows what he's doing. He does his job. He's strong. He's fast.
I think this could be our perfect signing. Is it perfect? Like to fill the void left by Reece James. Doesn't that make it perfect?
No, because there's better right backs out there than him. So it's not a perfect signing, but he's doing a good job while Reece James is out.
No, but you don't need to be the best in the league in your position to be the perfect signing.
But you could do better.
Yeah, good track record.
That's why I think it's not perfect for you. He's doing a good job while Reece James, who is the perfect signing, the perfect right back, is injured.
No, but you're not going to get a better player than Gusto to sit on the bench when Reece James is fit, are you?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's a perfect signing because he wants to sit on the bench.
No, that does make him the perfect signing, doesn't it?
No. Not necessarily.
I think that's the exact definition.
I think he's the perfect signing, Mark. Definitely.
No way.
It's the
good money, good age, good experience.
Because he's
played for a big club in France.
Do you think he wants to sit on the bench now? If Reece James comes back now, I don't think he wants to sit on the bench after
he
he's been
doesn't
playing.
want to, but we'll probably understand that.
This bench thing's overplayed. Chelsea want to be in the Champions League. I'm not sure you'll get there in the next 3 or 4 years. But
this year.
The idea was Gusto plays in the Champions League for Chelsea within a year. Okay, it's not going to happen. He still plays 30, 40 games as a backup right back. Of course he does.
Yeah, but
He played 66 games last season.
Why would I be a backup right back when I can move on now? Because I've been playing first team football for Chelsea. He probably knows that Reece James is better than him. We all know that.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit on the bench
But
anymore.
Gusto can play left back as well.
Yeah, but if you look at it from the Chelsea perspective, Chelsea need a player to be the best that he can be that is happy to sit on the bench. Any better than Gusto
when Reece James was fit.
Exactly.
But now he's tasted first team football. Why would I want to go back onto the bench?
Because he'll understand that Reece James is a better player than him.
Then I'll move on.
No, but he's not going to move on to a club in the Champions League because he's not that level.
You're not in the Champions League. So if someone like Spurs comes up from Villa, who makes the Champions League, what do you do now?
I think Gusso stays realising that he's got a good chance of playing, even if he is second choice, because of Reece James' injury problems.
I just think, I personally think he's doing a good job. I don't think he's the perfect signing.
I don't see who could be better. How could it be better? Tell me how. Okay, if it's not perfect, where is it lacking as a signing?
If it's perfect, for me, it becomes perfect when he takes Reece James out of the picture.
So he becomes the best right back in the world.
No.
That isn't what we need.
Reece James.
No, but Miles, that isn't what we're after. We're not looking for someone to replace Reece James. We're looking for somebody to back Reece James up.
Yeah. And he's doing a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a job.
And he doesn't cost much. What was it? 25 mil, 30 mil.
Yeah,
that's good value.
He's doing a job though.
Yeah, so it's perfect. It's a perfect signing
for the club.
Him doing a job is the perfect signing for Chelsea.
No, no, that's not perfect for me. Perfect is someone. Okay, cool. He's doing a job, and this is his position, and he's solidified it, and no one's moving him, and he's come in and he's made a big impact for your club.
But Chelsea can't.
That's the thing. That's perfect.
No, yeah, I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say.
We can't have a situation where he's never going to. We're not. Even if we sign Trent Alexander-Arnold, he isn't better than Reece James when Reece James is fit. There isn't. You can't sign somebody better.
That's a debate, though.
Right, but we're not going to have two. You're not going to have a club somebody as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold and Trent.
Do you think Akanji was a perfect signing for City? 15 million quid, and he was a backup to John Stones, Ruben Diaz, and Laporte at the time. Do you think that was a perfect signing?
Yes.
For me, that's a perfect signing. And he's come in and actually proven when there's injuries.
So Guardiola's a perfect signing for you lot right now, then, basically.
He starts too many games, though.
The idea was perfect for me. The age profile, the money's good value for 21 years old. The amount of Champions League games he's played. So Gusto coming in is absolutely perfect for what Chelsea need.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Christopher Nkunku. I mean, he's just injured, isn't he?
Out, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just.
But you can see he's perfect. He's going to be good. No, we haven't seen enough. Why? But yeah,
wait, what?
It's on the verge of.
He's literally been out the whole time.
I know the injury. Look, I know, but I don't like to discredit someone for that.
No, you're not discrediting. You're not calling him a flop.
Yeah, he's not a flop.
You just can't. What can you base it on?
When I've seen him, I know it's a little bit of pre-season. Came back a few weeks ago, didn't he?
No, he looked great against Wrexham. I agree. He did. I just don't. No, do you know what my worry is with Nkunku? He was injured, right? He was injured for France, missed the World Cup. Chelsea then sign him, and then he does the same injury that kept him out of the World Cup, kept him out at the start of the season for Chelsea. He's come back, he's played a little bit for Chelsea, and he's got another niggle, not a proper injury.
Oh, is it?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, just another issue, like, a 3 to 4 week injury. And I'm just worried that these injuries...
Owen Hargreaves.
Well, what happens is you end up becoming a player who plays 13 games a season.
Yeah. I want to say perfect because I think the way he does play when he plays... I think he played against City a few years ago in the group stages.
I mean, look, I'd love to call somebody at Chelsea perfect.
Exactly.
I just haven't seen him play.
You've signed a striker from the German league. When he has played, he's silky, can link people up, score goals. He's quick. He's arrogant. I know we've not seen enough, but I want to say it's perfect for the money as well.
They had one of those.
If he could get fit,
they had one of those, Buvey, and they sold him.
Who?
Everything you just mentioned, they had him.
Who?
Yeah. Sold him this season.
Who?
To us.
Oh, no.
He's silky, he's perfect.
I still don't know who you're talking about.
German league, German himself.
Havertz.
Come on. I said it. But anyway, we move. Nkunku.
Nkunku, I just don't think we've seen him.
I want it to be perfect then for your sake.
I want it to be perfect.
I want it to be perfect for you to have some joy in your life.
Okay, thank you. That's generous.
Injury-free Nkunku is a perfect signing, 100%.
Nicholas Jackson.
Oh,
he's rubbish, isn't he?
Well, is he?
Yeah, he's rubbish.
I mean, he scored 8 goals.
Which
is already more than Timo Werner scored in his which is already more than Timo Werner scored in his maximum season for Chelsea. And you're telling me how good he was.
Yeah,
but Timo Werner didn't play against a 9-man Tottenham, did he?
Yeah.
With a high line.
You still score a hat-trick, though, don't you? What do you mean? They're their tactics. You can't hold Nicholas Jackson accountable to their tactics. I'm not. Yeah, they play a high line. He goes, I won't score there.
There's an argument he wasn't good. He wasn't very good in that game. He should have scored 6 goals.
Yeah.
That's a fair argument. It's not why did they sign him, because I get why they signed him. You spent 30 mil,
cheap,
good age profile.
Yeah.
He does. He tries his best.
He's just not ruthless enough.
Nah.
All other aspects of his game is quite good. All other aspects, he's quite good.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Also, 8 goals. Flashes of it. 8 goals is a lot.
I give him jury.
It's a lot.
It's not bad.
I'm gonna give him jury's out. I'm gonna give him one more season.
Jury's out, yeah.
Because it's the Premier League. It's a tough league. Obviously, he needs to bed in.
I'll give you a spoiler. he'll never be good enough for Chelsea or in this league. He'll never achieve anything at the highest level. He's just not good enough. We're sat around a table. We're trying to film content. We're trying to stretch narratives out and see if we can extrapolate what's going to happen in the future. Mate, honestly, just look at it as a football fan. We've been watching football for decades between us. Mate, he's not good enough.
Because
he never will be.
Yeah, because if you lot sign Osimhen,
He'll never be good enough. Mark my
Do you know
words.
what I think the problem is saying it as definitively as this? I just remember the way people would talk about Drogba when I'm not suggesting.
That's
right?
why I said the jury's out.
You were thinking Drogba.
When there's a young striker,
it's happened.
particularly with strikers, when you're discussing strikers, you've got to be very careful how you judge a 22-year-old compared to how you judge a 32-year-old.
Yeah.
Like there is room to grow.
100%.
The finishing often comes late as well for centre.
Will he have time? Will he have 6 years? You know, will he have 6, 7, 8 years at Chelsea to get
Players
there?
don't last that long in this league no more.
But I mean, when you think about the goals that he's scoring,
Just about.
considering how badly he's playing according to everybody, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate that there's a lot of validity to that theory. But I've scored a lot of goals, considering how bad he's been.
I look at the finishers, I look back at those goals and I think, wow, a few of them deflections, a few of them little scuffs. I'd say Batshuayi is a better striker.
No, God, no.
Well, Batshuayi was good.
Batshuayi is a better natural striker than Jackson.
He's
Better finisher.
Yeah.
He was the opposite of Jackson.
Yeah,
He was a finisher, but he couldn't play football. Where Jackson plays football, but isn't a natural
You'll
finisher.
take Origi over Jackson.
I'll take Matete at Crystal Palace.
Different times of their career and things like that.
But
isn't
you're
it?
taking Origi though, 100%.
Origi, I don't know
I
about
don't
Origi.
think so.
I don't know about Origi.
Origi's better than Jackson. Are you look crazy?
I don't
Origi's a
know
good
about
player.
I mean, it's so difficult to compare, isn't it?
doing here, boy.
But
can't get a game of
overall, Jackson's gone off now to AFCON, and we're going to miss him. Which I wouldn't have said. Which I wouldn't have said.
You're going to miss a
6
body.
weeks
You ain't
ago.
going to miss him per se. You're going to miss that person, extra body. You're not going to miss.
He
him
works
his
hard for a
body work.
side. He gets them up the pitch.
Creates a lot.
Yeah, he does create a lot.
He creates a lot. He's good with his
So
back.
what's
But this is the standard that I'm sat here with you, mate. You've
what
been
have you
so
said?
successful. I think, is he good enough to get you back to the success you had under Abramovich? That's why I'm being hypercritical.
I think that he's been one of the better signings. I think the jury's out with Jackson.
If you could sign Osimhen this summer, you sign him and Jackson goes.
Yeah, but everybody would. That's not necessarily an indictment on who Jackson is, because everybody wants.
But if he's a young talent, you could see it coming through.
If you could sign Osimhen, you'd get rid of Havertz.
No, you wouldn't. Havertz plays in the
No, come on, man.
But no, Havertz plays.
You've got to let go of this
Osimhen goes up
Havertz
front.
thing, man.
No, Osimhen goes up
Come
front.
on, man.
Havertz playing up front right at this moment.
Yeah, but that's the FA Cup game. I'm not talking about the big games. Osimhen starts.
What is he in your pocket? His agent or something?
Who, Havertz?
Have you got the same agent as Havertz or something?
he's just
What is it?
Nicholas Jackson scored a lot more than Havertz this season.
He's having a better season than Havertz.
Of course.
Yeah, because Havertz ain't playing up front.
Oh no, mate. He wouldn't score as many goals.
Do you rate Havertz? Do you think
He's
doing
okay.
well?
He's not that great, but he does a job. He does a job. He ghosts in.
What's that job? What job?
Ghosts in, creates space. Gets
The
in and
first
around.
word you said in that sentence, ghosts.
He does
that,
ghost
that
in.
He
is
does ghost.
He does ghost in. He
Coast
does
and
ghost
ghost.
in.
a vacuous presence on the football pitch. Should we just move on and go to
Dizazi is distinctly average. Ugo Chukwu a backup player. Sanchez has been a disaster. I'm going. Dizazi, I think the jury has to be out. Arsenal are in here. Dizazi, the jury has to be out. Ugo Chukwu, the jury's out. Sanchez is just dreadful.
What?
Sanchez.
Bad signing?
Yeah,
I thought that's a perfect signing. Could play at the
Sanchez.
back. Could play at the back.
perfect signing.
Chelsea. That's a good signing for them.
Guy's an NPC. Guy's rubbish.
Oh,
What
boys.
does that mean?
He looks like
a
an
bot.
NPC.
What does that mean, though?
Like when he runs, he looks like a robot.
Yeah, he's a
Do
bot.
you know he's got the record stat?
When he's running back.
Yeah, he's fast. Yeah, he's perfect.
Chasing and Buemo.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's a terrible goalkeeper.
He's not
a
perfect,
terrible goalkeeper.
He's doing a good. He's not doing bad though.
Years, I think he is. For a
he's
top
not
level
doing
keeper,
well.
he is.
Caicedo's doing all right, I think.
He's picking it up.
Caicedo's doing all right. Romeo
Now let's touch on him because
What's happened?
you got to stay in Caicedo for a second. You can't just brush her.
100 mil.
Caicedo's doing all right. Lavia, no. Let's touch on the guy that you spent 100 million on again. You took the money.
125.
Yeah, 125. Was it the most expensive player in the Premier League?
125.
Took him off Liverpool. You lot fought Liverpool off to get him.
Yeah.
He's coming to your team. Hasn't been that great. He's found his feet a bit. He's
Good
coming to his
debut.
own.
Enjoyed his debut.
Yeah, this is there. Oh yeah, sent off. Caicedo, I don't know with Caicedo. I wouldn't say why did you sign him because everybody wanted Caicedo.
Yeah.
You could see why you wanted to sign him, especially at Brighton. He was a good player, Buvey. You can't do that, Buvey. He was a good player at Brighton, But I'm saying
for one season. One.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, but you could see the potential in him. If I personally think he's a
it's
systematic
such a
player.
risk. It's such a risk signing players off one good season.
And that's the risk.
What Arsenal did with Nicolas Pepe, isn't it? One good season. It's what Chelsea have done with Nicolas Jackson. One good half season. It is a risk, but then equally, you have to strike while the iron's hot. You know, Manchester United got hold of Rooney, didn't they? And
You got to gamble.
Got to gamble, yeah.
The money's there for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So,
I think with Caicedo, would you get the perfect balance of your midfield? He'll be a good player with the right
I think he's a good player.
you just say
He's still a good player.
Good. He has to be great. He has to be great.
What, because of the money?
He has to be great.
But do you not think that you have to kind of
the mediocrity
suspend
here is, and this is Todd Boehly's fault. It's not a Chelsea.
That's what I was going to say. Do you not have to suspend Do you not have to suspend the way that you're dealing with these players because simply being expensive?
The context.
Simply being expensive. That tells you more about Chelsea than the player. Like, you're judging Caicedo because he's worth 125 million, but he's only worth 125 million because Chelsea decided.
Yeah, but if we're doing the list and you sign him for 15 million quid, 20 million quid,
perfect signing.
But can you not just judge the player?
Yeah, but that
Just don't mention the finance.
I'd take the money out of it. Judge the player. I think he's really average.
Yeah, but I think that's more valid than throwing the money around because,
of course,
the money is only irrelevance because of Todd Boehly's idiocy.
It's abstract, really, when it comes to Chelsea.
I'm not having that.
It is abstract. What does anything mean anymore? If a Brighton DM is 115, 120 million
The ones
quid.
that signed him, they should have never signed him for that much money then. Should have got somebody else.
But
That's the point, though.
The value doesn't matter anymore. Back when we were younger, back in 2006, we could say a top level player is probably about 30 million quid. We signed Aguero for 30 million. Man United signed Rio Ferdinand. Now it's 100 mil for a gamble from a Brighton midfielder. It's embarrassing.
Also at Chelsea, where there's no real logic or understanding to the value of money or the value of footballers. Like the fact that he went for 125, he could have easily gone for 155 or 75.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea have no concept of money. It's just like it'd be like being in a nightclub with 50 Cent. Like, everything doesn't matter how much it costs. Throw the money around, hope for the best.
That's a good night out.
100%.
It's that. No, it'd be great. But Caicedo, I think we have to say, is kind of like.
No, what do you say? What do you think?
I think Caicedo, on the scale of Chelsea, I think Caicedo is probably one of the better ones, one of the better signings. I think wherever we've put Enzo Fernandez, I'd have Caicedo a tiny bit up.
Okay, fair enough.
Tiny bit above.
And they're both low in my book.
What about Lavia?
Lavia just hasn't played.
Yeah, jury's up.
Just so injured. Just like he's injured again.
What's happened?
I don't have a clue, mate.
Has he played for you lot?
It worries me a bit that
Did he play one game?
he came back. He came back and he's injured again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
And he was so good.
He played nearly every game for Southampton last season. He was very good.
So
Isn't
good,
it-
man.
He ran midfield against you, didn't he, at the Emirates? Remember that game?
Yeah, he did have a good game.
And against you, I think, in the... Did he play?
Why'd you have to bring up the League Cup? that's a bit low from you.
Why did you have to bring up the Emirates? Why? Well, you had loads of other games. Great game at Manchester.
But I've got very little to say about Lavia because he just hasn't played.
Yeah, good player though.
I like him a lot.
Good player, and he's still young.
Because what do you think the dream is? What do you think the dream is for Chelsea? That the midfield is ultimately Fernandes, Caicedo, Lavia.
I think it's so
and
bad.
then Conor Gallagher will leave. That's the dream midfield.
I don't think you should.
I think it's so bad already. And I'm not, not trying to wind Chelsea fans up. I think it's so bad already. I think if Guardiola went in tomorrow to fix it, let's just say, or Klopp or whoever, top level manager,
Arteta.
it would only be Lavia as a long term prospect for me. I think they couldn't work
And Caicedo.
long term.
Young.
I think they'd have to sign more players.
Quite interesting. So hang on a minute. Let's play. This is a great.
Pep wants to do it.
Let's transport ourselves into an alternative universe because this is quite important. My stance on this is completely opposite. My stance on this is Pochettino's not an elite level manager. He's a decent manager, but not really that good. And that's part of the reason we're struggling. My theory, therefore, is if you transport Pep Guardiola to Chelsea managers today, within 12 months, we're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you think the personnel is there?
He needs a transfer window.
The personnel is there.
No, the personnel with transfer window. But
Okay, what about no transfer window? I think the personnel is still there.
No, you're nowhere near good enough. He wouldn't be able to work that midfield.
But we have a better squad. We have a better squad than Tottenham, and we have a better squad than Villa, don't we? We just don't have a better manager.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah, but the starting 11 is so important. I think Spurs have got a better starting 11 when everyone's fully fit.
I'm thinking more Villa. I'm not thinking Spurs. I think Spurs is good.
Spurs have got a better keeper. They've got Son up front. They've got a better midfield. James Maddison. They've got a better right back, better left back. Mickey van der Ven's better centre back.
But the reason Villa are above us in the league is because Emery's better than Pochettino.
Unai Emery. Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Because he's got.
I'd love you to say that it
and they
isn't.
got a better squad.
What? No, they don't. Buvey.
Aston Villa probably got a better. They got a better striker. They got a better keeper. They got a better pair of centre backs. They definitely have a better midfield. Leon Bailey would start for Chelsea in a heartbeat. Diaby would start for Chelsea in a heartbeat. There's 6 or 7 that would start for Chelsea. I think that.
How highly do you rate Pochettino?
I think he's a good European manager. He should be managing a Champions League club consistency. I think consistently.
So you think he's a Champions League level manager?
Yeah, think so.
Which is kind of elite. Is that the definition of elite?
If you manage a top 4 side in any of the big 5 leagues, I think that's fair enough.
And you think he's that level?
I think he is, yeah. Could he be managing Atletico Madrid or Dortmund? Or
No. I don't think so. Do you think so?
I think he should be.
No way. Pochettino at Atletico Madrid?
Yeah.
No way.
As an example.
No.
Yeah. No, I would say.
No way.
We've saved the best till last on this. I mean, the best player, in the Chelsea setup by a mile. I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League actually this season. Is Cole Palmer. I think he's just been a breath of fresh air. We got so lucky. We got so lucky signing him. Because he wasn't really our first choice. We just, we felt like at the time we drew the short straw. And we ended up signing just a diamond. He's just sensational. You know, the way that he moves on the ball, the ease, the touch that he has. It's comparable to the very best. It's up there with who has an exquisite first touch. Maybe
be careful,
Phil Foden, Martin Odegaard.
Oh, okay.
I think it's that. I think he, the grace with which he moves.
The way he rolled the keeper for Louis.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mate.
I think this question is more from
Ronaldinho, literally.
And then shifted his body weight to let the challenge move across him before tapping it into an empty net.
I think the question is,
do you think it was a mistake?
Yeah, why did you sell him?
Was it a mistake?
You can't hold on to players for the sake of it. He wouldn't have been playing enough of football. He wouldn't have been playing enough football this season for him. He made the assessment. He knew better. He knows better than any of us sat around the table what his limitations
something
were.
Like Pep Guardiola could have put him on loan and said, "Okay, let's see what he does for a loan spell."
Well, the proof is he's gone to Chelsea, one of the biggest clubs in Europe. They're obviously not doing very well at the moment, and he's literally made Chelsea in his image. It all runs through. He's running Chelsea. He runs Stamford Bridge.
I think. I honestly think it's fair to say, and I don't say this often. I think Pep Guardiola has made a ricket.
Yep. 100%. I agree.
I really do.
Can agree, but there's forced transfers.
Do you
sometimes.
agree? Do you think it was an error? Bearing in mind, didn't he score? He scored for Man City at Wembley against Arsenal. He won Man City this season. He won Man City the Super Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won the Super Cup. He was the best player, one of the best players on the tournament for the under-21 England team.
Yeah.
He ran that show.
He's just the main man.
There are forced errors. Managers sometimes have to.
Yeah.
You can't just hold on to all the best players going and just hold them in your club. There's only 11 spots going, and he didn't think he was going to start.
You also signed Kovacic to take one of those spots. I think that one hasn't worked.
Kovacic. I think Doku was brought in. Phil Foden playing as a winger.
Nunes, really?
No, I think they saw him as a winger, and that was his issue.
I think you're allowed to say. You're allowed to say you don't tarnish your own image by going. Do you know what? I love. Everybody knows you don't even need to qualify how much you love Guardiola.
He's had a bad one.
But error.
They came to you with 40. What was it? 40 million. 40 million.
40.
They said 40 million for what's it? A young prospect. Okay, 40 million right at the end of the transfer window. We don't think he's good, but he's not really going to impact Chelsea that much. Let's take the money.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's why it's smart business.
You didn't really think
that's why it's a net good thing. It's a net good thing. You can't hold on to players.
You could get a job for Man City. You're in the PR team. You're in the PR team. He's in the press team.
He said net.
You're in the PR team.
Cole Palmer's a great player.
Say the word. It was an error.
It was a bad sell.
The club saw an opportunity at Barcelona when Guardiola was managing. He had a treble-winning striker in Sami Eto'o, one of the greatest strikers to ever play the game. And the club saw an opportunity to cash him in and get Zlatan Ibrahimovic. A little bit younger. It didn't work out. But Guardiola had to do it. It was the right move at the time to get Zlatan in. Little did he know what a bad transfer that would be.
You know how we know that we've got him rattled and he's terrified.
Well, I've given you
started
knowledge.
talking about Eto'o.
So you can't draw parallels. Can you not expand your mind a little bit? Expand your consciousness. I'm talking about Sami Eto'o as an managers get opportunities to cash in and freshen up the squad.
Yeah, but you could have.
So what? You want Guardiola to keep all 50 players that came out of the EDS last season?
He's a youngster. When you say freshen up the squad.
So, all right, so he's a youngster. We all agree. He's a young kid he needs to be playing football right now, 35, 40 games a season. That's how talented he is.
Calm down, mate.
Calm down, mate.
Yeah, he doesn't need to play that much.
Why are you getting so... Look,
I don't care. You can say I'm somebody bottom half table.
We're not doing that.
Mate, you're having a hot flush.
He's currently below Palace. In the league, he's currently below Palace. But
he's gone nuts. Are you okay?
He's not. Buvey, you know it's a stinker.
It's
Look,
not
It's not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
stinker.
yeah, you know
It's not a
it's a
stinker.
stinker.
It's
Buvey,
not. Honestly, it's not a
Just
stinker.
admit it.
No, but it's not.
can all do it.
You'll be
Right.
happier when it's a stinker. Miles will admit that Kai Havertz was a stinker.
No.
I will
If
admit-
Jose Mourinho, after you win the league for the first time in 60 years, sells Drogba, that's a stinker.
50
years, 60 years. You're only your second league title ever, wasn't it?
Arteta and Edu.
Then if you sell Drogba, if we sell Aguero in his prime, that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
Yeah, but
No,
you
no.
Selling a young kid to get him game
a
time.
prospect, though, you could see it.
Mate,
He's in your
scored a winner
setup.
for
He's
you in Europe.
He's
He
in the
scored a winner
training.
for you in Europe this season, and you sold him.
It's not like
for
you
40
picked him
million
up.
quid, not 80.
Yeah, he's not under 23s, under 90s. Okay,
40
we got a
mils
gem
is
here.
profit on the books. It's profit on the
just
books.
admit
It's a
it.
financial
Profit.
decision.
You'll be
Let's see
happy.
any
Lads,
profit.
why don't you go to LSE and do an economics course?
See?
Yeah. Honest to God. You could do with one. You could do with one. Oh, it's on the Stratford
You'll be,
Royal campus.
you'll be a happier man
It's
when
a
you
bad
just
move,
admit.
Buvey. It's a bad move.
move.
It's a
But
bad
that's your
move.
opinion then, man.
Listen,
Well done. You're entitled to your opinion.
all our clubs have made errors
Yeah.
in recent times.
Yeah,
right?
ours isn't Cole Palmer.
Chelsea have in recent times signed Kai Havertz. Arsenal have in recent times
saying
signed
it, bro.
Kai Havertz. Errors for the
That's
club.
not an error.
Ange Postecoglou has just made one. He signed Timo Werner.
That's not an error.
And Pep Guardiola has made one.
In your opinion.
Arteta and Edu had
in fact,
Arteta and Edu had an error this
They've had an error for 10 years. You've not won a league in 20 years.
Oh, stop! We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. We've had an error. We sent Kieran Tierney on loan. Error. Now we're scrambling
and
for a left back.
signing Kai Havertz in the middle is also a big error.
It's not.
It's a big error.
Only time
Come
will
on.
tell.
The
Because the treble's still on.
The 65 million quid could have been spent elsewhere, and you'd be at the top
That's
of
a
the league.
big error, man. Well,
Yeah, but the
I
treble's
think we
still
should do
on,
a
though.
separate video about how big an error that is. It's a huge
not an
error.
error.
It is
Could
an
have been
error,
more of an
man.
error.
Come on.
The treble's still on.
Let's